Don Wright, Chairman of the Oregon City Library Board, calling the meeting of the Oregon City Library Board to order. Approval of minutes. Everybody have a chance to look at the email?
Yeah.
I move the minutes be accepted as printed.
Okay. There's a motion to accept the minutes. Second?
Second.
There was a second down here.
Okay, second down there. All favor, say aye.
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 Are there any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to our general business, which is the library director's report.
Okay, I've got some stuff in addition to the report, just a couple of things. You know, we've got that LSTA grant for the newspaper digitization of the historic Oregon City newspapers.
Yeah.
And we're getting to the point now where we have made a commitment to start presenting information about this to specific groups. And so Sue Adams, who's been working on this project, would like to come present a 5-10 minute thing
great.
to the
That'd be
library
wonderful.
board.
That'd be really good.
So could we do that in November?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
But
we'll
would that
put-
be like a
Yeah.
visual and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. She can talk about it, and she can go to the website and walk you through a couple
I'd be
of
totally
things.
for that, yes.
Okay, great. So we'll do that in November, at the November meeting. And let's see here, just make a note of that. She's also going to, was just invited today to the Friends of the Library Luncheon to do the a little demonstration at that event as
Good.
well in December. And you're going to do a foundation report. Are we going to have a Friends report tonight? Anybody?
I can report on the luncheon.
Well, I was just going to report on the donation.
Oh, go ahead.
The Friends agreed today to give the library $5,000 towards a new microfilm
Wonderful.
reader. Yes, which will cost about 13 total or something.
Yeah.
Which
Thank
is
you,
an awesome
Friends.
donation,
Yeah.
in addition to the many other things that they do. Yeah, yeah, and so we've been trying to put this package of this thing together. It requires its own computer and stuff too, so we have to work with the city as well as the company that does that. But we're very grateful to the Friends for that donation. It's really cool. So
Question? Is that going to be enough? One digital
Yeah.
microphone?
yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be enough.
Well, those go a lot faster when you can save your stuff to
Yeah.
disk, right?
And you're not
Okay.
waiting for the
Yeah, to
printer
your-
and
Right.
fighting with
Yeah,
it.
to your thumb drive and stuff.
Yeah.
So, then as far as, let's see, big news is that the city commission approved the purchase of the parking lot.
Yes.
And so that will close on or before the 16th of this month. I've got the paperwork necessary. I just need to get the right signatures and the checks cut, the check cut.
Is that lot ready to roll, or do we have to do some stuff to it?
Well, it's ready to roll because people have been using it.
Yes.
But I think that it could be optimized a bit more because, first of all, you don't even know it's there. You can't even see it.
You
So
put some shrubs down or something.
yeah,
for safety, for nothing
signage.
else.
I think there's some safety things that we could
Yeah.
improve it. And so we're going to have to look at that. I don't know what that will.
Do we have to make it handicapped accessible?
Well, it is handicap
It is.
accessible.
It is?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay.
It's got 2 egresses, 7th Street and then also the alley. So it's
Okay.
nice that way that you don't drive in and you're not in like a box canyon like you are over at West Lynn.
Yeah.
So it's got about 20 spaces and, people in the H&R Block building do use it, but we can do a short-term, month-to-month rent with them too as well and make some money, a little bit of money. And the dentist's office is vacant though, which is like really nice. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but it will be our parking lot. So if anybody else parks there that we don't want them to park there, we can make an arrangement or kick them out or something. But it's not like we have staff to go up there and, patrol the area.
So nice to see things moving forward.
I know,
Yes.
isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, then, as far as statistics, we continue to have programs, and
still.
we did have to cancel Pinterest,
That.
6 speaker. Yep, I stayed home that day, but I arranged for somebody else to cover for me. But then I let Trevor know that it was going to be somebody else, and he's like, actually, we're sick too. I'm like, okay, we're just going to cancel the whole thing. So that got changed to the end of the month, actually. So we'll do social media night Pinterest on October 28th. And then the Fiddlers, as you and Karen know, has been canceled. I mean, Fiddlers, the Spirits of Oregon City has been
The Fiddler
canceled,
on
and
it.
therefore the Fiddlers have been canceled as
Yeah.
well. So. Spirit of Oregon City, was that a city? No, it's not really a city thing.
Walking tour by a private group.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
involved,
for the Halloween.
it involved using McLaughlin House and Barclay House, and
Yeah.
because they're currently closed and we can't guarantee they'll be open by the 19th, we canceled it.
We've been sequestered.
Yes, we are sequestered.
That could be
All the kids in the lab at work.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's see what else. We have about 200 surveys for the library program. And we have a focus group coming up this Sunday at 5 with the McLaughlin area. And hopefully some of those people will show up. And then Laura got me a contact for our homeschoolers. And I haven't really heard from her, but that's all right, you know, whenever,
All right.
whatever, you know.
If not, we can, and there's some other people I can put you in touch with too.
Okay, I'll let you know. And I have not really been able to like get a group from St. John's either of kids, but we did get 4 teens in and had a really lively, wonderful conversation about that. And I got lots of good feedback. So I've typed up like all my notes from the focus group so far, and what my plan is to do is to take the comments from the survey and kind of integrate them into the focus group thing. So, I mean, that will have a record of who said what in different areas, but like at some point kind of integrate these comments so that they can fall under like major topic areas kind of together, so you can kind of see like how many people are talking about windows, for instance, you know. And lighting is like huge. So that's one that I hear a lot about. But, you know, there's a lot of variations on the same theme. Mostly like we want a nice library. You know, we want a nice quiet reading space. We want to make sure there's space for this, this, and this. And we want it to be nice. We want it to end up being a nice product that we feel good about. And it's comfortable.
The one I sat in on, there was a lot of concerns about where the children's area was going to be. Is that still popping up in the other ones you've been to?
Well, that hasn't been the main topic.
Okay.
No, because the teens don't really care.
Yeah, I understand that.
But yeah, where it's going to be is a big question. Where anything is going to be is a big
Well-
question
Why
because
is that a big question for where the children?
well, for the kids, it's like you want them to have enough noise separation that they can be kids and not really bother other people so much. Also, for the ease of access, you like where it is now, like if you go downstairs, you can go in that door and you're in the kids' room, if that's the way you want to go. It's really easy for moms. They can use the ramp, whatever. And I mean, it's not easy from where you park, but you know, in theory, it's like easy compared to having to go up the stairs and then go up another set of stairs and like that, you know. So like, where in the building do you put it that makes sense?
Okay.
That's the kind of, you know, so it's optimal for the kids and for other patrons. And since we're working on an addition, it's like nothing is really optimal is not the word that comes up a lot, because that makes it hard. You know, what you do with that space, you know, determines everything else. And if the front door is the front door, then you're going to have a lot of people walking through that space no matter what. So making that, like, for instance, your quiet reading room doesn't make as much sense when you have your front door right there.
with
And
the
that would
chil-
be kind of natural thing to do with it, you know?
Has there been idea of the children's space being in the old building?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's come up. Then you have a bunch of other people walking through the children's space,
Mhm.
you know? So I don't know.
There's also questions about sight lines, worried mothers if they can see their kids.
Yeah.
Ideally, they're with their child.
Well, yeah, but
Always.
I thought that was a really good point, you know, because kind of what they were saying is like, you know, if if I have a child who's mobile, and I have another child who I'm with, it really is helpful if I can kind of at least see the parts of the rest of the room.
Right.
That helps me keep an eye on both kids at once, So that's one reason to have short shelves in a children's room, in addition to the fact that kids can't reach tall shelves anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, they
I
made
thought there was some good
a
comments
pretty
about all that.
impassioned
Yeah.
plea for the visibility thing. Yeah.
I gotta say, one thing that I haven't brought up before, but I realized when I was up working on the microfilm again the other day, the most kids I see are hanging on parents on computers. So it would be kind of nice to have some adult computers in or near the children's area so the children can actually be entertained while the parent is on the computer.
Well, funny you should bring that up, because that is the topic of a lot of conversation right now, because we have problems with that, as you know.
You do.
And it's not easy for who's ever at the reference desk to handle the situation, because at any one time there may be multiple requests going on and juggling, and then you've got a kid screaming and the parent trying to get something done. And so it's kind of an ideal setup for a lot of frustration. And it's kind of weird having parent computers in a kid section, because you kind of want everything to be kid focused, and not have access to things that parents should have. But on the other hand, it makes sense for parents to do that kind of stuff away from where the kid could be happy. So yeah, we're definitely.
So how about a soundproof glass wall with
I know,
a small
yeah.
opening?
Right. Yeah.
Stand-up computers for the parents.
Stand-up computers and bins of toys. I don't know.
You know what? That's not out of.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, with a time limit, because I do think that there is that other balance of people who, speaking as a parent, I know I've come down to print out a boarding pass for my parents when they're visiting, and if I have the boys, it can be challenging.
Oh yeah.
And I can imagine that there are parents who would like to access the computers not necessarily in a practical way, but in other ways, and sort of balancing that, understanding that sometimes you need to work on a resume or you need to print out something with
A
the other
child.
pieces,
Yeah.
with a child, but there are other pieces of, there are adults who use the computers for more recreational and social, and not, I know maybe that's not our place to do that, but if it's an hour time limit and the child, a child who's 3 or 4 can't occupy their time for an hour, so finding some happy medium could be a
Yeah.
challenge.
And so the thing is so you have a stand-up computer somewhere, and you want to make it available to people who let's put it in the children's room, stand-up computer. Parents only? I mean, how do you make sure that it's not creeps down there in your
Right.
children's room?
Right.
Yeah, it starts really pushing at some hard areas.
Is it something that we can investigate in terms of what other libraries?
Oh
have
yeah,
done?
absolutely.
Yeah,
We have
so,
lots
okay.
of time,
Okay.
and it's just a really good topic to address now, to think it through. Really.
It's actually excellent that's coming up now.
Oh yeah.
I just need to quit going in to use microfilm the day that the 3 families with multiple children decide mom needs to be on the computer.
doesn't help you at all?
Yeah.
There was 15 kids
Who
there
knew?
at one point.
Really? Could you have them call you ahead of time, please?
Yeah, I'll be checking with the reference desk to see who's there.
Yeah. But these focus groups have been great, because you could sit down with they've ranged up to 6 people maybe. They've been pretty small groups, and you can really talk about a lot of things, and it's one thought will lead to another, and a lot of what I hear is just about services in general, not about the future, but stuff that we can apply now. And it's great feedback. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you pay companies lots of money to get this kind of feedback. So I'm really trying to take advantage of that and consider what people are saying. And people have been really positive too. I mean, they love the concept of expanding the Carnegie. They're all on board with that. And they love the library. Even if there's things we can improve on, which there absolutely are lots, they love the library. So, I mean, I think that we're in a pretty good spot with this community as far as, how they feel about us.
I'll say one more thing about that, the one I cited on. I like the way you kind of structured it a little bit too, because you had kind of a little agenda, didn't you, up there in your...
Well, I had some questions in
Yeah.
case that, we had nothing.
Right. As it turned out, we did have a lot, but I mean...
You always have to plan for that, but.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
Well-
did see a little structure on there, and I thought that was good, as opposed to just open-ended.
Yeah, because I thought about it ahead of time, like, what do I want to get out of
Sure.
this group of
Mhm.
people? So anyway, so yeah, they've been really good. I've been trying to figure out a way I can somehow continue some of this, because it kind of keeps me more in touch with users
Mhm.
and what they, and I think there's always that danger, even if we're like frontline staff, we just see it from our point of view. So anyway, so let's see here.
Okay, there's no legislative text.
You didn't, the Star Wars event,
We haven't had it yet.
I know.
Are you coming?
Well, it's really, really popular. So I'm just letting you know that I think that there's a huge buzz about it.
Great.
And is it going to be down in the children's room where the movie's going to be shown? Or-
Actually, no, I think it's going to be
Okay.
upstairs.
Okay, all right,
The movie's going to be in one room, and then something else is going on in the other room.
okay. It's really cool you're doing it.
Good, because they're Jenny and Peter are in charge, and they're
They
trying to
have
plan for lots of numbers.
Okay.
Like when you say lots, what do you mean?
I know of at least 6 or 7 neighborhood kids are coming with their family already, and that's separate from any,
Okay.
I mean, I'm guessing people know about it. Maybe that's not a lot, but I know
No, it's great.
attendance has slowly increased, and I think you're getting people coming for those kind of evening events for kids.
Because attendance is like really, it's hit or miss. It's really hard to know.
Mhm.
We kind of stick it out there, and then it's like, so like 12 people or something came to the first movie. It was very lightly attended,
Mhm.
and then this last one was well attended. About 50 people came to Ride the Divide, and it was really, really fun. We both really enjoyed the movie. It was very fun.
Yeah.
But it was like, there were so many other things going on.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
next year I'm thinking is for movies is like not even starting until November again. Like September's
Yeah.
crazy because there's football and
October's
school
Yeah.
starting,
nuts, yeah.
right? And then October, it's going to be always a conflict with Willamette Falls Festival because it's First Friday. Unless we change the name and the dates, which is completely possible, but right now, so I'm just thinking, why work that hard
Right.
and spend that money
Mhm.
when,
Mhm.
So, but we're always looking for like ways to get the word out more, and you can get the word out, but then, are people going to show? So the next big thing is the Brian Doyle, Virginia Ewer Wolf thing. So that's next Thursday night, and I think it will be a real treat for people who come, because I don't know of them ever being together before,
Yeah.
talking about writing and their lives and all that kind of stuff. And Brian is a hoot.
Yeah, he's a great speaker.
Yeah, he's a really good speaker, and he's just he's very charismatic and kind of wacky and imaginative and super sentimental and
He
tugs at your
cries.
heartstrings. Yeah,
He
he'll
cries
cry,
at the
he'll
best
laugh,
of
he'll do everything. Yeah, and then Virginia, I don't know at all. She's like an unknown quantity to us, even though she lives like right outside
She's-
Oregon City.
She's interesting.
Yeah, I bet. So the two of them together will be really interesting. So I'm hoping.
Do they know each other?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how. I didn't arrange that. Brian emailed me one day and he said, "How about if I bring my friend Virginia
There you
Ewer
go.
Wolf?" And I said, "Sure, you can bring all the friends you want, Brian." So yes, and he is being paid in wine.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, and so.
Who's
Nice, babe.
providing the wine?
I am. And so then she was going to, they're both essentially doing this for free. And I said, well, what about Virginia? And he's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I have to get her something. So I went over to the Friends, our Trad Gallery, and picked her up a couple of things there, small things. But, local, promote the local economy,
really nice.
right? Yeah. So anyway, that's coming. And then I just got an email today from Gregory Noakes, who is the author of the Breaking Chains book. He's the guy that's going to appear with Philip Margolin.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so that will be at Atkinson Church at the end of January. So I really want a lot of people to turn out for that, because that, again, is also a one-of-a-kind event where you have two authors talking about the same topic from different points of view, because Philip Margolin's book will come out in January, and that's the fictional account of the Holmes versus Ford slave case, and Greg Noakes is the nonfiction account, which came out a few months ago.
We had a good turnout at the museum for him, and he is an excellent speaker.
Good. January 30th. Thursday, January 30th, and it's at Atkinson Church, because they can seat up to 400 people. So kind of from now on, if I ever have like where I think I'm going to get over 100, I'm just going to go there. So
Do they charge us something?
$50. Yeah. So Amanda Copland is coming on January 9th. That's the Orchardist writer.
That's great.
Willie Vlaunton, who wrote Lean on Pete, is coming in February. And Kim Stafford, who we've never had, who I hear is a wonderful speaker, is coming in April. Don't
See,
have.
okay, so my question is, it's you and your staff rounding these people up, or do they just come forward? How's it work?
So, you know, I usually like on the weekend, I'll get like a wild hair and I'll go, well, I'm going to email so-and-so and just see what they say. And like Amanda Copland, I just like wrote to her publicist. And she said, yeah, she's here and she'll do it for free. And Willie Vlaunton, then now that agent knows me, and so she wrote back and she said, how would you like to have Willie Vlaunton? And I'm like, yeah, I would,
Yeah.
definitely.
So that's the important part of making sure they're well attended, because you want to make it worth their time.
Yeah, you definitely want to make it worth their time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you advertising it in Westland and other areas like that? Are
Well,
you allowed, like,
we
do you know
s-
what I mean?
Yeah, we send it out to.
Michelle has a
The-
huge distribution.
She does have a pretty big distribution, but and we send it to the directors over there of the libraries. But we don't really like go and post it on like the market of choice or anything
Okay.
like that, you know. So I mean, we need to kind of like probably do more flyer kind of stuff and
Well, are
posting
these-
around.
How many
But
people
they're
are-
just in the library, you don't have much space.
Well,
They're the church.
yeah, I mean, I can.
Right.
That one's in. Yeah, these are going to be Philip Margolin one, and the Kim Stafford one are arranged for the church.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing tickets?
No, not for the
I
church.
wonder if the free ticket, just free tickets even, but I wonder if that sort of gets people more committed and more aware about it,
Well,
and make them value it as well.
I just definitely
more?
have to like do a different kind of ticket distribution than I did for Cheryl
Yeah.
Strait. That's all.
But if
I
they-
know.
I'm
I'm
just
giving you, I've
People-
moved on, I've
Yeah.
moved on.
But if we have big space, it won't be a problem. It'll just, you'll know how many people coming, and it'll sort
Or
of,
do tickets anyway.
and could say, yeah, and say tickets may be available at the door as well. I mean, it just sort of gets you a little more focused on that thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, that Cheryl
Well,
Street is
yeah, I hate to
cool.
make people, like, free tickets are, you know, get your free ticket, and then it's like, do I have to come get a free ticket ahead of time? I live in Lake Oswego, do I really have to make 2 trips? Blah, blah, blah. It starts getting, you know how it is. I mean, if you have some ideas, we can talk later, but it does start getting complicated, and then staff and.
Well, I was wondering
So,
about, we have.
simple
we have-
is easy.
We have our
Email tickets.
library newsletter now, which comes out periodically.
Once a month.
Well, but that's got a mailing list attached to it, right? Could there be like a ginned up electronic flyer about our authors coming in? This kind of in a,
That they could print off.
well, it just comes to
Calendar on
electronically.
calendar.
Just to keep reminding them that yeah, we do have authors coming.
Yeah.
So I've kind of forgotten about the. I'd heard them before, but now
Yeah, I
I've forgotten
forgot
until you
too.
start talking about them.
You know, I do
Same here.
focus e-blasts
Uh-huh.
in between e-blasts. So, you know, do the whole newsletter
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah, I did that
in
on.
between the
I did
next
that on
two.
for the survey when I was promoting the
Yeah.
survey. I did that to the because we have 600 and what? What's our number? 38 people
Mhm.
as of when I typed this up
Yeah.
might not be a
on
bad
our
idea.
But this
and then
is-
our Facebook too.
Just a
Yeah,
little this little zipper up to them.
that's a good idea.
Do it on just the authors.
Especially since people are so electronic nowadays.
Well, but you just have to keep reminding them because it goes out of their
Yeah,
heads,
it goes out of
like
their
mine.
head. Yeah.
Mhm.
If they're like me,
Mhm.
you got to keep zapping me.
I'll do one for all the ones that I have so far.
Yeah.
because then people can get it on their,
Do you have a handout that has them all?
no.
Well, and the nice thing is when it shows up on my phone, I can just touch it and say enter event, and it's in my calendar.
So
I don't have to remember to
sophisticated.
write it down somewhere.
But, I mean, once I have enough of them, you know, some of these are kind of holes. All right.
I do think flyers are still nice, though.
Yep.
I do think
Back
that
up.
I do think that not everyone has a smartphone, and I think that
Mhm.
having it up at the grocery store or cafes. Can
Well,
be-
yeah, and you see things in different ways. You know, just because it comes to you via your smartphone
I
does
may
not
not
mean you
open
read
it.
it. I may not open things for days. I see the
Mhm.
subject heading and I'm like, who cares, you know?
I've
Yeah.
got 9 other things I have to answer
Yeah.
right now. to
Yeah,
attend to.
exactly. So
Plus
I
the
think
kids
that's,
running around.
I think we need a little flyer route,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
Another thing to
Another thing
coordinate
to do. But
and
we're glad
schedule.
you're doing it.
So, any questions on my director's report?
I think it'll be good.
All right, well then, let's talk about meetings with other groups and changing the time of our meeting. Because I gave you guys a form with just a little bit of information on it, this thing.
What are the acronyms? NRC, PRAC?
Oh,
Natural
You did?
resources.
yeah, Natural Resource Committee and Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee
yeah.
is PRAC. CIC is whatever.
Citizens Involvement Council.
Council, yeah. And then we have TAC, but we're not going to go to TAC. That's Transportation Advisory Committee. So I've only heard back from Pete and Scott are the only 2 people. We also had on our list, which I have in here somewhere, Planning Commission. Here it is. Historic Review Board. Oh, and I did have Transportation Advisory Committee highlighted. Those are the ones that were, that this building will have like anything to do with, okay? And since we'll end up doing parking and stuff like that, that starts impacting the Transportation Advisory Committee. So the only people I heard back from so far were Pete Walter from the Natural Resource Committee, and we can be on his agenda on November 13th, which is just, you know, after this meeting. So it's like, would be really convenient for somebody to stay, potentially. We could do that. And then for the parks, since we sit in a park, it would be nice to talk to those guys. And their meeting is at the end of this month, or the one in November is Thanksgiving Day, so they're gonna have to change it.
Yeah.
So they don't know what they're gonna do about that, but there's no meeting in December, so they know that they will change their November meeting. They just don't know when to. So I just kind of need to know, okay, are we gonna do those 2? And if so, who is available? And this doesn't need to be decided today. People can look at their calendars.
What are we wanting to meet with them? Are we telling them where we're at in our planning?
Well, what we want to do is just say, so, you know, we're working on this project. We may be in front of you at some point in the future to talk about trees or the park or whatever, and I can get more information about what that would be ahead of time. But that was the concept, and if we want to not do that, that's absolutely fine.
No, I think this is very good because you got to pet all the dogs in the kennel, right? And they may be all friendly, but one of them might want to bite you, and who knows? You know, with all of the stuff that they have to deal with, the Transportation Advisory Committee has a funny kink and wants to say, well, yeah, you're not going to do that because blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't know their business, so I think it's good that we share.
And, you know, we could go and just say, you know, are there any concerns that you have that you could think of right now that we need to look at as we're going through this process? And the staff person who is assigned to them would probably have a good idea of what those concerns might be. And we could kind of pick those guys' brains ahead of time so that we're not blindsided as well. But,
So you mentioned
No.
Planning Commission, Historic Review. That's not the same as Natural Resources? So.
no.
Okay, and Transportation Advisory, Natural Resources, and Parks. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay on the 13th. I'd kind of like to get the parks out of the way.
All right, do you want to do that at the end of,
Yeah. End of this month?
Don
Yeah.
is going to meet me in Beaver Creek, it's probably the Wednesday before that, October 24th, to talk to the Hamlet.
Mhm.
okay. You guys need any?
Oh, yes. A little white paper would be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or what color you want to have, put it with some facts in it.
We should start, I haven't really started any talking points, which was one of my assignments, but I
You want-
kind of need to know what
you
would
wanna
be
get together
helpful
on
to you.
that?
Yeah, that would be good,
Let
actually.
me know when you can do that.
Okay, so, all right, so we'll do the 24th. I'm available too, so I mean, we can double team that, you and I,
On the parks?
on each one of those.
Sure.
Okay.
But anybody else can come along, it isn't
I was
just
gonna say, I may be
Don and
clear,
Marine
so-
duo team here. Huh?
I said I may be clear, so I put it in my calendar.
Okay.
All right. So if, yeah, just show up. That's fine. You don't have to check with us.
I have a meeting that night, so I can't.
All right, well, I'll get back with those guys and
Do
get
you
us
have
on
a
the
date?
schedule.
Do you have a date on the parks thing? Is it October something?
October 24th,
24th?
yeah.
Star Wars night.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're gonna miss the Star Wars.
We can,
party.
Dawn, we could walk over to the library after the meeting. We're not gonna take up their whole meeting, we're just gonna
And please do come in costume.
And what time is the parks?
Yeah,
Same
what time
time,
are they?
4:30
They're at
something?
7.
7?
they're, Dawn, they're right after our
Close to a
meeting.
Klingon forehead.
Parks?
on my own, so.
Yeah. They start at 7 after our
Natural
meeting.
Resources is right after our meeting
You're
too?
mixing
No.
with us.
Oh, wait, that's what I meant.
Star
I'm
Trek,
sorry.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm backwards. But they, almost all of them start at 7,
Except for the resources, which,
and the Historic Review Board starts at 6.
6?
What day are they?
That's 13th of November, right?
No, HRB?
No, Natural Resources is November 13th at 7, after
7.
our library board meeting that day.
All right.
Oh,
So
it's
we
the
can-
historic review board though.
Historic Review Board is at 6 on the 4th Tuesday of each month, and so that would be this month, it would be the 22nd. We have not been invited to that meeting yet, I haven't heard back from that person.
So could it be possibly November then if they don't have to huge come too?
So that would be, what did I say, the 4th Tuesday would be the 26th of November.
For,
Historic Review Board.
well,
So I gave you you got one of these
Yeah.
sheets last
Last
time.
Yeah.
time.
yeah,
Mhm.
someplace.
So you
In
can,
here somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go with those two things.
Yep.
We'll do talking points for the Hamlet thing, and then we can use those for our meetings, Don, and then we can, probably some other things will come up, and then we can report to these guys how everything's
And
going.
we've got the NRC meeting on Wednesday, November 13th, after our meeting.
Yeah,
I mean, I could probably be here.
okay,
so.
all right, great.
So Don, you're going to, for the Hamlet meeting, you'll be meeting with Mo.
Yeah, we're
and
gonna
get
be
the
working
talking
on what we're
points
gonna be
and
Is
that.
talking there, so.
Maureen directly
Okay,
after?
It starts at 7,
I'll
so
be
it depends
well
on how,
tuned.
Yeah,
How long
how
would
early
I-
we get done.
right. Or what are you doing?
What?
Hmm?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I like to leave right after this too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, hey, maybe we can go out and have some dinner or something.
Yeah.
It's
Be a good
possible.
idea.
Depending on how much time we have,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Yeah.
I took some of the survey bookmarks to the breakfast. They have a monthly breakfast in Beaver Creek. And I was sort of discouraging, so many of the people don't go to libraries, don't go to the library at all. Some of the people were interested, looking forward to the report that had been announced, and one fellow said that just loves the library, loves the location, loves the concerts. And I said, well, it's probably going to change with the concerts. He said, oh, that'll just ruin the whole thing with the concerts. And it's too bad. I told him that I had heard that they were moving the concerts anyway, and he thought that was really very unfortunate. It's just one of
Well,
those things.
yeah, and people are gonna feel that way until they go to a concert out there.
Feel good somewhere
And
else.
then maybe
Yeah.
they'll be okay with it and maybe they
Maybe.
won't, but it is a really nice environment.
Yeah.
We went to
And-
one there, and it was pretty good. It was
Where are we talking?
this summer.
End of the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, every neighborhood association that has a park in their neighborhood wants the concerts there.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
because of the
It's a positive,
crowds.
yeah, it's a very
Mhm.
positive thing.
Yeah, it was all of a sudden this, oh, wow,
Yeah.
could we really have one
Yeah.
of our own?
Okay, well, that's good.
I don't see why it shouldn't
So,
be running.
what is the
That
date
New
of your
York is a
Hamlet
nice
thing?
place.
It's
And
the
lots of
fourth
parking.
Wednesday.
Okay, the 23rd.
23rd.
All right, okay. All right, that sounds good. We still have 2 weeks to get that together. So then piggybacking on this conversation was the idea that we would change our time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got some information from Nancy Ide about doing that. First of all, it's absolutely possible. The downside is that when we negotiated our filming arrangement, the meeting that comes after ours was kind of, they were able to package them together. And so if we separate it out from another meeting, like we could, it would be more financially conservative to piggyback with another meeting than to go it alone. So we could stay here and move our meeting back to 5 and just make it more possible for like working people to get here at, a little bit easier.
Laura, does that help going to
It's
5?
5, good enough?
It does, but does it really impact you guys?
Not so
No.
much.
That's fine with me.
I think we were only concerned about making sure that we were able to get done and out of here in time for the board coming on.
Mhm.
And so I would still need to,
And that it's at 6 when they come in?
it's 7, but
7.
sometimes they have setup,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so really,
Hour
I
and a
think,
half it would give us probably.
yeah, it would probably give us a good hour and a half, yeah. And
unless we
they
have-
just need to know we're here.
Yeah,
We haven't pushed that limit yet.
we haven't.
No.
And if we
Even
have
with
exec, we
executive.
can go in back.
Yeah, and usually it's because of exec that we are lengthier and we can always
Right.
go there or another conference room.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. All right, well, let me just get in touch with that person, and that would be Pete Walter from Natural Resources, and just make sure that wouldn't impact them by moving back half an hour.
same day.
The same day,
Same day.
exactly the same day, just a different time. Because all the other, we could rearrange, but I don't think that the other arrangements give us anything more than
No,
changing
not
this
really.
to 5,
Mhm.
after I kind of look through the whole schedule.
Mhm.
So, okay.
Good, thank you.
All right.
So,
I think that's all I have unless
Move it up
people
to
have
5.
questions.
I think we're gonna need, she's gonna have to confirm with Pete, so she'll get to me now.
We're at communication. Hi.
hello.
I want to thank all of you that did come to our foundation meeting. It was very useful, and we're going to move forward on that. And I know Mo's going to have something to say about what I have to say, too, is that I don't know if you realize that the foundation, I got a call.
Oh, yeah,
it's about,
thanks.
see? I didn't want you to steal all my thunder, so I...
That worked out great. I knew I was forgetting something.
About 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from Ross Dress for Less, and they wanted to give the Library Foundation, at this, we're not quite sure, a check for $1,000. And I had to send in paperwork for the Library Foundation.
Is that the new one down in the mall?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Yes, and at their ribbon cutting, which is Saturday morning, this Saturday morning, the 12th, they asked me to be there at 8:30, and they're going to present the check at 8:45 and do the ribbon cutting, and the store is going to open at 9. I contacted Mo just in an email and said, what does she know about it? Because I thought that she threw them my way.
Yeah.
But she says that they contacted her too. Why don't you tell your part?
Yeah, so they contacted me and said they'd like to give some money to the library as being a good new neighbor and all that. And I'm like, sure, that sounds great. We'll take that. So I went and got the paperwork they needed and sent it to her, but then I never heard back from her.
I haven't either.
And then in the meantime, I heard about this, and I was like, okay, I'm confused. Are they giving $1,000 to the library and $1,000 to the Library Foundation? We don't know, but we're going to show up. We're going to take what they give us. We're all going to be happy with it.
So if the,
And we're going to comb our hair because there may be a
so
picture.
if the president,
Yeah,
so if the president of the board shows up, is there a 3 check?
I don't know, but you're welcome
Yeah, how
to be there.
And
That
then
would be great.
that was my point,
Yeah,
is that if you want to come and
WWW.
support the
Sure.
foundation
Right.
and the
library
library,
or
you're more than
whoever.
welcome.
Yeah.
So you don't know
What
why
time?
they
10
chose the
o'clock?
library? to-
No.
No.
8:45 is the presentation, so you want to be there around 8:35 or something.
8.
So they may be good future partners. They may be good
Yes, they
future
may
partners.
be future partners,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's such a, you know,
Another star.
we have a website, and the contact phone number is my phone number. And you know, you just say hi, and somebody starts, is this the library, library foundation's number? And you know, to have the presence about you to at least say thank you at the end of the phone call.
Very
You don't
cool.
usually get calls like that. Mo may get calls like that, but I don't
No,
get calls
no,
like that very
no.
often.
That's great.
That's very good.
Super.
But
Yeah,
I just,
it's
and
exciting.
yeah, it is exciting.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
good
it
timing,
started a
too.
trend.
It was good timing,
Exactly.
because it was the same week that we had the Library Foundation meeting, and so it built on what we did at the meeting that night.
How many members in the chamber? 100, 200?
How many members are in the chamber?
Yeah.
I don't know.
247.
Huh?
247?
247? $1,000 from each of them?
Right.
Bingo.
That would be a lot, yeah.
Thank you,
They don't have
John.
grand openings.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you.
Well,
Do you want to talk about the Friends at all? Or did we already?
Oh, just, no, I turned my date off again. We will be having our annual meeting and luncheon, and everyone is invited. And if you don't get an invitation, let me know. Thursday, December 5th, and it usually starts at 11:30, and it will be at Ainsworth House again. And we decided today that nice round number lunch will be $17.50. We'll accept a $2.50 donation along with it if you'd like. But all board members are definitely invited.
Apologize, I won't be able to make it. I'll be teaching.
Oh, all right. I'll get you a doctor
Yeah,
back.
a few people will
Another
be
star.
doing other
Yeah.
things, but.
Yeah,
At least you
midday
know,
on a
at least
Thursday
you know
is-
you've
This
been
time I was
invited.
invited, and
Yeah.
that's all
Yes.
that counts.
I think we tend to have a lot of retirees that are active in the Friends, so we tend to have luncheons on work
7
days.
stars.
Right.
I was wondering, I've been to these lunches maybe 3 years. Would you like a donation for the raffles you have?
Oh, yes, Lynn, I can give you the contact information. Because, yes, we were pointing out that the raffle is bringing in more money each year. So, jewelry, art, anything somebody would like to take home, Christmas decor.
I have something like, well, I was thinking something like hand knit socks or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Lovely to add to. Just let me know and I'll put you in contact with the person.
You could just email me if you want.
Okay, or email me.
Just take it, okay.
Mhm.
okay.
Good.
We already talked about our future agenda items, right? And our next
Putting on the
regular
future?
meeting. Hmm?
Future agenda items?
What were the future agenda items?
Well, they're going to have somebody give a presentation about digitizing
Oh, Sue, yeah,
newspapers.
yep.
Yeah.
I believe that was it.
That is it, thank you.
You're
Sue is our
Thank you so
future.
much.
Oh,
Want
what
to take it
about
off?
this new
Sue of the future.
Oh, maybe at the same time, we can show you guys our new,
I didn't know about that.
our new catalog. It will be coming up at the end of October, so,
Okay.
you know, our online catalog,
Sure.
have a new look, I'll add that, yeah.
Is it just an update from the same company?
No, it's like a real big, it might be the same company, but it's a big redo.
It's a lot of graphics, it's really cool.
Yeah, it
Is
really
it,
looks like the
uh,
21st century,
More like
actually,
Multnomah counties?
kinda.
Is competing with Multnomah's update, sort of.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this is something we've wanted for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this desire was in well before they did their thing, and
Right.
I think theirs is probably going to be snappier forever than ours. But
I navigated them both this last week, and I don't know if it's familiarity or whatnot, but I think ours is tighter.
really,
You know, it's good for finding stuff if you know how to punch it in. I found out recently that you have to know how to punch things in to find what you're looking for, because
You
if
mean
you look
like-
up Dr. Sleep, Dr. period sleep, you're going to get Dr. Seuss. You type in DOCTOR
It's got one
sleep,
of those spell
you get
checker
Stephen
things like
King.
on my phone.
yeah,
Oh, I
And
found
that is
big
like-
problems with it.
yeah, that's a cataloging issue.
Well,
Yeah.
and I see that every once in a while. I get multiple copies of the same exact
Yes.
same
That's so
item,
much
but
fun
it's
with
listed
friends.
slightly differently.
Right.
There was something they had,
Thing-
and there was no way I could find it using new catalog, and I emailed my son, reference librarian, and his only response, maybe you'd be more comfortable with the classic catalog.
Oh!
You just want to punch up?
You know, I was trying to find out how to use it.
Library building.
You make animals, sir.
I'm calling this
Oh,
meeting,
right, right.
Maureen, I'm calling this meeting.
No, don't. We will be doing, we need to be doing library board interviews.
Yes, that's,
Yes.
13th is no.
Next month, right?
We can do them next month, or we can do them in December. So that's our choice.
And there's still just the two people.
So far, yeah.
I'm thinking November is better than December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then let me get in touch with Doug and make sure he can be available.
Do we
Okay.
have several candidates?
We have two
Two.
candidates,
Two.
one for each position.
And it closes October 21st.
Yeah, it's still open.
Yeah.
But even if somebody applied, after this meeting, there's still time to get them information about coming in November 13th.
Mhm.
Okay, let me talk to Doug, and then I'll try and get in touch with the other candidate. What else have I forgotten, Linda?
I think that's it.
Okay.
The meeting time's not gonna change until you talk to.
Yeah, I'll notify you about the meeting time for next
Okay.
month.
And you'll let me know when you're available to talk about talking
Yes.
points?
Let's look at my calendar before you leave.
All right.
Okay.
So, with that,
Cool.
Laura, before you dish out.